Hey everybody, Superman here. So, little freedom and COVID talk, I guess part two. So, I was living in California and a place that is just decimated by the government. COVID has nothing to do with it, it's the government and their decisions. Is when those people are saying, but like, if we ease up restrictions, like more people are going to die. People die all the time. Life has risk. Life has death. They make it seem like unless there's no chance of anybody dying from this thing, they can't 100% be back to normal, 100% be open. I mean, the governor even talking about we can't be back to normal till there's a vaccine. This isn't something that is going to wipe out the world. The death rate in California is 6/10,000%. 35% of people at least barely show any symptoms. Okay, and most of the death numbers are faked anyway because the doctors, get within the hospitals, they get money every time they mark off it's a COVID death. Like no one's dying of cancer anymore, or heart attacks, or car crashes, or anything like that because it's all COVID death, and they check mark it. And I know this from inside sources, and that's all over the place. That people just mark every death as a COVID death. So the numbers are greatly, greatly exaggerated. And except for a few instances where some hospitals were for a very short period of time, having like a bum rush of all this stuff like that. Most hospitals, they've furloughed the nurses even, and the hospitals are basically going to go bankrupt because they're not getting enough business. So look, people are going to die. We have to accept it's okay. 2 years ago, when we had record flu deaths, no one was freaking out. And I don't understand why those deaths were not considered, those lives, that were taken were not considered really anything, right? And now the COVID deaths are so important. The thing that's the most important, I think of the slogan that was used when it was Black Lives Matter, right? Well, the way that I'm thinking about it is healthy lives matter. Healthy lives matter. We need to live our life. The fact that people around the country in a couple of different counties have had to pull out guns and have militia protect their businesses from the government shutting them down and stuff like this. The war is not against the virus, it's against government control. Why do you think superheroes are around? Because we are above the government. Okay, our superpowers, well, they make it easier. Obviously I can't be contained in a prison or anything like that or shot down. So yes, I can do what I want. And I happen to be a pretty moral character. And so people are happy because I save them and all of that. But even as Superman, I'm not saving everybody. Some people are still going to die. So, imagine it was something else. Imagine it was all right, well, we know how many deaths happen because of car crashes each year. A lot of them, right? Deaths by auto accident. So should we actually disallow anybody from driving until we figure out a way for nobody to die in a car accident? That's really the same rationale. It's then we have to stop driving. I mean, there are plane crashes, so do we stop all plane flights, right? There's death from alcohol, so we do stop all alcohol. There's death from smoking. Do we stop all smoking? And the thing is that I'm thinking is maybe you just disallow people from being born. Because if you disallow people from being born, then there's no chance they're going to die, right? So you make getting pregnant illegal then. I think that's really the best route. So the best way to understand something is to take it to the extreme by applying it to other areas of life. And if it doesn't work when you apply it to other areas of life, you should seriously question how it's being applied in this area of life. It's the same thing let's take exercise. Everybody knows that in order to lose body fat, you have to burn more calories than you take in. So that is a one-size-fits-all reality, okay? Except in the most rarest cases, all right? Where you can take in more calories and because of a metabolic ramping, you can actually still lose body fat, but that's very rare and only in specific instances. But for 99% of the time, you need to burn more than you take in. However, the type of foods that you do take in or the type of ways that you burn your calories, okay, should vary from individual to individual based on body type, biological makeup and things like that and consider those things. It's just like in this situation, it's not a one size fits all. Okay, counties, states, countries that have people that are naturally separated by distance, the less dense areas, do not need any kind of extreme restrictions. In fact, that is not only destructive, but absurdly illogical. Like it's to, like an insane level of illogic, okay? Even still, my view, which I've stated several times, is zero businesses should have ever been shut down for this. However, the only thing that made sense is you go through who is at risk, you advise those people to do X, Y, Z. Stay at home, maybe them wear a mask or just stay home, okay? Everyone else live their life. Like I said, California, 0.6% is the mortality rate. And I did a little statistical study that showed that in half of the states in the United States, you had a greater chance of getting hit by lightning than dying of COVID. That's how low the death rate is in the majority of the states. Life is not one size fits all. Otherwise, like with clothing, like not everyone could wear a super suit, right? Okay, all right. So, I mean, I had to train and diet and all those things to be able to wear a super suit and look good in it, okay, and be a superhero, all right? But it's just like clothing. What would you want to have? Like everybody wear the same outfits? It's bonkers. So you can't have for every state, for every person, everything being the same. And you still, it's lightened up like over here in Arizona, where I'm currently staying. People are drastically different than California and the mindset, but there are still people that are overly freaked out and wearing masks when they don't need to wear masks, okay? And being overly cautious is like being overly of anything else. You're restricting then other areas of your life, other areas of self-expression. And I'm all about health and strength and well-being. And that's what I'm saying. And you can't be in a state of well-being if you feel contained and are overly doing something protective. Overprotectionism will kill people too. Think about that.